Hi, how are you? What I'm doing here today is I'm continuing along from last time when we had removed the faceplate off of here, and that's where we discovered this dirt. And so I'm going to wipe it off, wash it off with soap and water. And I put the blue shop towel back in there so that the water doesn't leak through the openings. There's an opening here, there's one there too, but I'll be sticking the oil in there after I dry everything up. So I'm going to give it a quick wash, and it's really simple. I got soap and water right down in here. There's the faceplate itself, and there's that screw. Let's take a look at that. There you see how that thread is way up there close to the screw head, and then it's blanked all the way down. And then that other part over here, oops, wrong other part over here. The right part over here, it goes on like that, and then it goes in like that. So, but this needs to be washed, so I'm just going to give it a little bit of oil. And the way I do that with these small parts is I make sure I'm in the frame on the camera, and even if it's a little bit blurred, there are a couple of drops on there like that, and Jebb's your, not really, but Jebb's your apprentice restorer. So I'll let that sit. It's a little bit oily, and that's great. And so as far as the other stuff, what I have is this sponge scrubber thing. So I'm going to use that for up top here, and just good old soap and water. Good old-fashioned soap and water. Atta boy, Jebb. Mama would be so proud. So that's pretty straightforward, isn't it? And I think, let's give a little bit of a scrub now. And I took that paper towel out of there, that shop towel out of there, because now I'm not putting any more new water on there, soap and water. And I don't want to use crud cutter or anything too strong on there, because it might dull the finish. And like I say, this is not that dirty, so it's easy to see if this first initial soap and water clean will be all that it needs. And if it needs more, then we'll do more. So I'm going to do that. Then I have the aforementioned shop towels. And these are the towels that I had stuffed in there when I put the soap and water in initially. And these had been used for something else on a sewing machine, last video. And so I'm careful, like I don't use dirty shop towels, but I don't reuse dirty shop towels. But if the shop towel is slightly used, and I can recycle it and use it again, or tear off half of it, and not throw out the whole shop towel, but maybe only a third or a quarter, then I'll do that. You know, and yeah, I know it sounds like, well, how can that make a difference? But we all know that, you know, everybody doing a little bit on their own adds up to a lot at the end of the day or year. So that's all I'm going to do there with that. And then I'm going to take this faceplate right here, and I've got my small container of soap and water in the big white container. So I don't have to get my blue shop towels that all my tools and sewing machines are sitting on for the video here. I can just keep all the water inside this big white container, because I know I'm going to spill it out of that small container. And you know, we don't want to use crud cutter or rubbing alcohol, because this is printed, and you certainly can't use a steel brush or sandpaper on it, because it'll scrape the finish right off. It'll go silver. I've done that before. How we do it now, with all the preaching and therapy, the restorers preaching and therapy. So I'm going to oil that and let it sit. This stuff isn't going on right away anyway. You know, the whole reason that I took it off in the first place is because when I start putting the followers and that in there, then it's going to be nice and open and clean, because, you know, it's like, oh geez, you almost got it all back together, and then you realize, oh wow, look at the grime, I never cleaned there. So that's washed now, and then I'll get my cloth here. And where are we lined up? Can I see there? Yeah, but I got my big shoulder out of the way of the light. Okay, so I have to go that way. You know what, I'll put it down there like that, and you can see what I'm doing. So I'm definitely spreading oil on little bits of grunge down here. Put plenty on, just on the back like that. And I've got this other kind of drier shop towel here. And now I've got the oil on the front and the back. And I'm just going to use the toothbrush on the back. And I may gently use a plastic bristle brush. Where are they? Hang on, a sec here. Here's a oh geez, clang clang. Here's a plastic bristle brush. Right here. So I've washed it with soap and water, then I put oil on it, and now I'm using the plastic brush. And you know what? let me see if I can just, where's a little bit of, really, like I have 1500 grit sandpaper. Okay, I think this is 1000 wet dry. So I'll tear that off. And this is the back. And just very gently, slowly, rub-a-dub-a-dub. And the 1000 grit wet dry sandpaper, it is dry, but it's doing a nice job. And you know, the grunge or the varnish builds up, like, you know, at the points, like right down here, and right down here there's a little edge, so right in there, and then of course all in there. That's where it builds up. And any place where there's an open space, like for the lever, that's where dust or thread or grunge can climb in. So there, that's done now. And I'm quite pleased with that. And I've really started to slow down, you know, for like what I do at one sitting. It's great to, you know, do the big jobs where you're half an hour or a couple hours making a video, you know, but there's nothing wrong with getting it done, you know, too. So that is going to be how that goes on. I don't want to put the screw back in there because it's still soaking in oil, and then the lever will go on there. But that's pretty much that part of what needed to be done. So the next thing is, in the next video, I'm going to get the parts, the followers and all that part, kind of lay it out. I'm going to study the parts, the correct names for the parts. And this is what I use. It's from the Singer 500 manual. And so that's where we're going to be highlighting, especially in the next video, all this stuff. There's the followers and the cam selector shaft. So yeah, so that's what's coming up next time. Anyway, I'm rambling. Listen, thanks. Like if you like, subscribe if you subscribe, and have fun, stay safe. Come on back real soon. Adios, amigos.